Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com, and I want to share with you the beginner's guide to getting rich and show you some steps that everybody can take. And these steps, given enough time, can and will make you rich. They've helped me out in big ways, and I don't want to make this seem like rich in the sense of, hey, you know what? Private yachts and Lamborghinis and jets and Rolex watch collections. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying rich in the sense of peace of mind, meaning you can lay in bed and you're not stressing out about this bill or what happens if that happens. None of that. You're in full control of your finances, and if any sort of kind of unknown, unforeseen, financial event happens, you can sit there and say, hey, that would be annoying, sure, but we'll be okay. That's what I mean by rich. Full financial control where you can just sleep easy at night and not be stressed out about money. Because you know what? No stress from money. In my mind, that is a very fantastic spot to be in. Next, none of this is going to happen overnight. Now, you can get rich overnight. You just have to have like a world-changing idea or product in order for that to happen. So if you have an idea and millions upon millions of people are going to want to pay you for that product or service, then hey, you know what? You're going to have a very successful business. You're going to make a whole lot of money very quickly. But for the most of us, myself included, we're going to need to take a little bit different of an approach to build riches, build wealth. But again, it's something that everybody can do. Now, this guide, and this is kind of step one in the guide in the sense of, all right, well, if you're going to believe in the guide, if you're going to want to take action and do what I'm about to talk about, hopefully we can agree with this line of logic. You know what? If you want to get a healthy body, it would probably be wise to do what other people with healthy bodies are doing. If you want to play an instrument really, really well, it would be wise to therefore go and see what other people that are playing that instrument very well are doing. If you want to learn how to swing a baseball bat as best as possible, it would be wise to go and find people that swing a baseball bat really well and then see what they're doing. If you want to get rich, if you want to be wealthy, it would be wise to therefore go and see what other wealthy people, to see what other rich people are doing. If you can agree with that logic, then perfect, because that's what this guide is based upon. Let's do what rich people are doing. Let's do what wealthy people are doing, and we have some great data that's explaining exactly that. At the time of this recording, this article has just come out, but it's nothing new. Now the numbers are pretty crazy, but it goes to show what rich people are doing. So the top 10% of wealthiest Americans. Now, this doesn't need to be Americans. If you're in another country, the overall premise still stands. But wealthiest 10%. So what are the wealthy people are doing? They're owning. Okay. Well, what are they owning? Well, they're owning stocks. Okay. So again, if we want to do what rich and wealthy people are doing, and those rich and wealthy people are owning stocks, it might be smart for us to start to own some stocks. If you can agree with that, then perfect. So that's the first big step, is understanding and believing that you should own stocks. And if this statistic here doesn't convince you, then I'm not sure quite what else I could do. But if you're like, okay, yeah, I agree with the premise. Let's do what rich people do. Rich people are clearly owning stocks. But that brings up the next logical question. Okay, well, I mean, what stocks? Where do you find these stocks? So let's get to that part now. Now, the next part in this entire process is knowing this phrase right here. Blue chip stocks. That's what I want you to run a Google search on. Blue chip stocks. Now, blue chip stocks, in a nutshell, these are just well-known companies. They've been around a long time. They know what they're doing. They have good balance sheets, meaning they make a lot of money. They have lots of sales. They have a great customer base. In some situations, they have a required product. So an example for that real quick would be in a utilities company, right? Your water utilities company. That's kind of like a required product that they sell. Water, electricity. So maybe they're not the most glitz and glamour companies, but for whatever reason, they have a very, very good stranglehold on whatever market they're in. But like I said, I want you to run a search. It doesn't have to be on Google, of course. It could be on any search engine, but I'm going to use Google here. But run a search, and then I want you to click on news. And then this is going to bring up some, current headlines and such that should be, based around blue chip stocks. Now, I don't want you to go and just randomly buy a stock. There'll be some more steps here, but this will at least get the ball rolling in the sense of, okay, well, what are some of these blue chip stocks that are out there? Because remember, this is a beginner's guide. So you can scroll down and, look for a headline that maybe catches you. So I guess I can't highlight that. 7 blue chips to shield your portfolio from market downturn. All right, well, just click on that. Click on whatever catches your eye. And then, and you can read the article, you don't have to read it, but I want you to scroll down and just find the list of companies and right there. So here's the next step is, okay, you run the search for blue chip stocks, but I don't want you just randomly to buy any stock that you see. So when you get to these lists, ask yourself, have I heard about any of these companies that are being mentioned? And the two on this list that I think probably most people have heard of is Coca-Cola and then Pepsi. I think most people have heard of those. However, I would encourage you to do a little bit more research into some of these other companies because in many situations, you've probably heard of them. You just don't realize that you have. And case in point right here being Procter & Gamble. Now, like I said, if you're a beginner to the stock market, like I remember Procter & Gamble. Who is Procter & Gamble? I've heard of Coke. I've heard of Pepsi, but Procter & Gamble, who are they? So just come back to trusty Google and let's run a search here for Procter & Gamble. And we have, let's just go down and click on, so there's a website, brands. And the question becomes, all right, as I scroll through these brands, have you heard of any of these? So we have baby care, Pampers. I'm sure parents have heard of Pampers. Fabric care. Downy. Gain. I feel like I've seen it. Tide. Who hasn't heard of Tide? Family care. Bounty. Charmin. Oh, come on now. We'll go through the feminine care products. We'll just keep on. Gillette. Head and Shoulders. Who hasn't heard of Head? Old Spice. Cascade. Dawn. Febreze. Mr. Clean. Who hasn't heard of Mr. Clean? So you get the idea. Crest. Oral-B. And Vicks, cough, right? Pepto-Bismol, all that sort of stuff. Did you know that Procter & Gamble owns all those? So sure, when you're going in and buying Febreze, you're not buying Procter & Gamble. No, you're buying Febreze, but Procter & Gamble is the company that actually owns them. So does it make sense why Procter & Gamble would be considered a blue chip company? And just keep that in mind. If you've heard of a company that's, being reported as a blue chip, go and read a little bit more about them. It's not hard at all. Just like I said, run a Google search and see if it makes sense. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see why they would be considered a blue chip company. They're not speculative. They're not some sort of, new startup that they've got, brands that I've heard of, or they have some sort of product that would make sense why that product would give them the ability. Again, going back to think to the utility companies, right? Electricity, water, natural gas, things like that. Okay, yeah, that would make sense why they would be able to be a blue chip company with those products. So in this situation, let's just go with PG, which goes, let me go back to the article here. So PG, where is that coming from? Well, this is the ticker symbol, and ticker symbols are just an abbreviation. So in the stock market, there's going to be abbreviations for all these companies, again, known as ticker symbols. So the ticker symbol here for Coca-Cola would be KO, Pepsi, PEP. But for Procter & Gamble, PG, that's going to be the ticker symbol that you would want then go and do this next phase of research on. So let's go back here. And this is, again, nothing fancy here, but I just want to take you through each step. So PG, remember, that's the ticker symbol. And then just type in stock and let's run a search for that. And now the next thing I want you to pay attention to, so right here is scroll down here, and I want you to look at div yield. Now, div is just short for dividend. Now, what is a dividend? I've done other videos on this, so just to nutshell it, a dividend is basically a thank you from the company saying, hey, thank you so much for buying our stock and holding our stock, being investors in our stock. Thank you. But the cool thing about this thank you is it's not some sort of like empty thank you card. No, they put cash in the thank you card. Now, how much cash? Well, that's where we come over here to the yield. Now, the yield, that just basically means an interest rate. But here's the cool thing about the interest rate. It's being paid to you. In most situations, people look at interest rates and are like, oh, so it's like a mortgage rate that I have to pay. Well, what's my car loan payment rate going to be? Okay, and in your mindset of, well, that's what I have to pay out. Not in this situation. This is what's being paid to you. So does it make sense why rich people are probably doing this? I mean, think about it. You're getting paid to hold on to a stock. How great is that? And remember, stocks, given enough time, especially when they're blue chips, odds are they're going to go up over time. So not only are you making money just because the value of the company, the value of the stock is rising upwards, but you're also getting paid along the way. Once again, I circle back to my main point. Does it make sense why rich people, why wealthy people own stocks? That's a very good deal to get paid to wait as you make more money because that value of the company and stock goes up. Now, is it guaranteed to go up? No, it's not. But if that's why I'm starting all this with blue chip companies, because while that doesn't guarantee anything, it does still leverage the odds and probabilities much so in your favor. So again, we don't just want blue chip stocks. We want blue chip stocks that pay a dividend, and that's how you would, see that right there. Now, as a quick example here, let's just go to Facebook. So Facebook stock, we'll run that. And again, so Facebook right there, what's that called as a quick quiz? If you're saying that's the ticker symbol, good job. See, you're already talking stocks. So let's come down here and know here that div yield right there. So Facebook does not pay you to wait. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't want to go and buy Facebook. Maybe it does. But under the way this guide is working, and again, this is beginners. This is how to just get started. After you get started, after you build, some good solid blue chip stocks that pay dividends, then yeah, you can venture out into some of these other stocks. But this would be an example of one that does not pay a dividend. So as far as this guide is concerned, you wouldn't want to have any part with it. So let's just go back to, again, PG here, which pays the 2.49%. Again, that's an interest rate being paid to you. How nice is it that you're finally getting paid an interest rate? No more you paying interest rates out to other people, but you're getting the interest rate. Once again, it makes sense why the wealthy people are doing this. But we have the next phase. Okay, Clay, I get it. We want to buy stocks. I get how we can find some stocks, blue chips, and want blue chips that pay dividends. But I mean, literally, how do I buy this stock? What do I need to buy a stock? Which is a very good question on your part. And the final phase here of this guide, you need what is known as a broker, more specifically an online broker. Back in the day, especially if you watch movies, you've probably seen, people on the phone, buying, selling stocks, the traditional stockbroker type of way. But those are days of old. At this point, you just need an internet connection, an app on your phone, a computer, and you can start buying stocks. And the best part is doesn't even cost you any money. Now, if you pick the right broker, it's not going to cost you any money is what I say, because some brokers still do charge commissions. They're not nearly as crazy as what they used to be, but it's great when you can think of, wow, all I need is an app, all I need is the internet, and I can sit there and start buying companies. I can buy blue chip stocks that will pay me, and it doesn't even cost me anything. There are no commissions. Again, you do need the right broker for it. And then what I'd recommend, at least considering at the get-go, is Webull here. I should note, for transparency's sake, this is, if you click on the link below, it's an affiliate link. So yes, I'll get something if you use them. But here's the great part about that link is you'll also get something because they're giving out free stocks. So, I mean, how great is that as a beginner, somebody just getting started in the stock market, and you're going to start off with a couple of free stocks? To me, that seems like a good deal. Now, are they going to be blue chip stocks? I have no idea on that. It's kind of a random draw on what stocks you're going to get. But if they're not, it doesn't really matter because they were free to you in the first place. So like I said, if you want to just get a leg up, get some free stocks, then sign up with that link. You'll need to deposit at least $100 in order to do that. But make that click the link, get signed up, deposit $100, which you'll be using anyways to start to buy some of these companies. That'll be a good kind of leg up, and an easy leg up. But all right, so I'm just going to assume that you're going to use Webull. And here's the next thing that you need to keep an eye on, whether or not you use Webull. But if you're using Webull, scroll down here, and this is very important. Account types. When you sign up for your account, whether it's Webull or anybody else, you better make sure that they have IRA accounts, which stands for Individual Retirement Account. And I could do an entire video on this, but in summary, they're just a tax-friendly environment. They're going to allow you and your money to grow as quickly and as efficiently as possible without having all sorts of tax stuff, going on. Now, if you use a traditional account, then again, without going down the rabbit holes, your money's just not going to be able to grow as quickly, as efficiently, because you're going to have all these other things going on from a tax perspective, which is just not going to be as efficient as what it could be. So that's why you need to have an IRA account. Maybe you've heard of Robinhood before as a broker, and that's one reason among many why I never recommend Robinhood is they don't even have IRA accounts. So from somebody that's trying to invest, trying to get rich, trying to build wealth, but you don't have IRA accounts, come on now. But hopefully that changed at some point. But whatever broker you're using, make sure that, yes, $0 commissions are great, but you also want that next layer of they need to be offering an IRA account. So you want to get signed up for that. And then at that point, it's truly just like signing up for a bank. You're going to need the same exact information like you would sign up for a bank. You'll sign up for your brokerage account. You would then send money in. You would just attach your broker account to any sort of bank account, and then you can just move money back and forth like you can. Nothing fancy, especially in this day and age. I'm assuming if you're a younger person, for you know way more about this stuff than I do. And if I say this stuff is easy to transfer money back and forth, then definitely for you it would be easy. But it's not a big deal at all, and you can move money back and forth between accounts as needed. But it's really as simple as that. After you get you get approved, you get your account, you just would log in and you just would go and buy, the stock. And if you would like for me to do an actual step-by-step video on that, I can do that also. But, as of now, those are really the key beginner steps to building wealth. Do what rich people do. What do? They own stocks. Okay, what stocks? Well, as a beginner, let's just start off with some good old-fashioned blue chip companies that pay you a dividend. Where are you going to buy these? How are you going to buy these? You need an online broker. Not only do you need an online broker, you want one that has $0 commissions. And more importantly, you want one that offers IRA accounts. And Webull is going to offer all those and also give you a couple of free stocks along the way. But whoever you use, that's not the point. The point is making sure you follow those IRA accounts, and you want something with $0 commissions. So hopefully this all helps. Hopefully this can motivate you to start to get out there buying, owning some stocks. Because if you want to mimic other people, then let's do what those other people are doing. And that's a great way. That's a logical way to put yourself in a good financial point of view, which once again, rich from the peace of mind standpoint. Let's just be able to sleep easy at night and not be stressed out about things. And stocks that, again, are paying you dividends are a great thing and a great way to start to achieve that ultimate goal. If there are any other questions, please leave those down below. I'd be happy to offer up any clarity that I can. And, I love to talk stocks, especially with beginners, especially with those that are just getting into the wealth building phase, getting into, hey, you know what? I want to take control. I want to be in control of things. I'm all for helping. So like I said, leave any questions down below. Be more than happy to assist with that. And again, I'll put the Webull link down below too. And if you click on that, then you can get a couple of free stocks, which I would argue is a great way to go about it. So everybody take care. And like I said, let me know if any questions down below. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.